We're at Chateau Montrose with Nicolas Glumineau. Nicolas, it's a pleasure to be here on such a beautiful day. Could you tell us a little bit about your 2010, please?
We are used to say in Bordeaux that there are no bad vintages anymore. It's just forbidden. And we're also used to say since 2000 that quite every year the year of the century. So we have to find an issue to that kind of problems. And as I previously said, I was so excited to vinificate the 2009 as a winemaker. I mean, it's such a rare opportunity to vinificate such a good wine, such an incredible wine. And it's on top of that, it's so incredible to vinificate such a wine twice in 2 years. So after 1 or 2 days of maceration, we have understood that this 2010 was absolutely fantastic as well. I mean, fantastic because it's a real Médoc wine, and it's very important for us to make a very classic Bordeaux wine. It's so well balanced. This balance we have to find in Saint-Estèphe, because our wines are naturally very rich in tannins, and we have found this balance between the tannic richness, the power of the wine, but also the elegance of very ripe tannins, the freshness, the acidity, and the aromatic structure, which is very fruity and very expressive. And for me, if I could vinificate such a vintage every year, well,
your life would be a lot easier.
Yeah, that's it.
It seems that the acidity seems to be a really key part of the 2010s.
The difference of acidity is probably the main difference between 09 and 010. Actually, the 09 is probably more silky and charming and very round. This is, of course, a very serious wine, but obviously it's a very charming wine. Not jammy, because there is still freshness in the wine, much more than in the 2003s, for instance. But the 2010 is very Bordeaux, very straight, very precise. There is something monastic in the expression of this wine, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
very practiced, very studied. Yeah.
And this is how we can produce some very long-aging potential wines in Médoc. You speak about the acidity, but I think that the main point in Chateau Montrose, which is very used to produce some very masculine and powerful wines, is to produce some wine we can keep in cellar for decades, but that we can also appreciate in 5 to 8 years. I think this is the main goal of our new team in Chateau Montrose. But it was, above all, it was a very warm year. And on top of that, very dry year. It was a very dry year, and the amount of the average temperatures were very regular all along the year. So in terms of diseases and the pressure of mildew or oidium, it was not that complicated to work in the vineyard compared to 07, 08 and 09. But the main difference between 09 and 10, once again, is that the time between the technological maturity, I mean sugar, acidity, and the phenolic maturity was very long. So we had to wait with confidence, to wait for the good weather and the dry weather during 10 days to 2 weeks before tasting the optimum maturity of ripeness. So of course we have done the dryness dance all the night to be sure that no rain occurs until the end of October.
That's a beautiful thought.
Every 2 nights, in fact, between 3 and 4 in the morning.
I think that's fine. Oh no, I did want to ask one other thing. You told me earlier that you now know what the blend is going to be for Montrose for 2010. What is the blend in terms of Cab to Merlot?
Well, of course, this is a very good terroir for Cabernet Sauvignon. in Montrose because of a very big gravel soil, because of which is very draining and dry. So the late varietals like Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon are very well adapted on that kind of soil. That means we are about 60 to 65% of Cabernet Sauvignon, 30% of Merlot, and then we have the rest with 4 to 5% Cabernet Franc and 1% Petit Verdot, okay. Because we have 1% of Petit Verdot, this traditional varietal in Médoc.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure. My pleasure.